Alright, welcome back for the third time with my guy. Third time's a charm. Third time's a charm, bro.
Three's my lucky number, actually.
Is that so?
Yeah, it's been my jersey number from day one. That's why my Instagram is JMcCade3. The
you know,
three's not an accident.
I wonder maybe like 2 other J McCade already took that. So we're here again. If you haven't been keeping up with the videos for whatever reason, I strongly urge you to go check those out. The first video we were talking about the specific type of real estate that Jay specializes in, which is investment properties and the different types that there are. The second video we were talking about buy and hold situations, which is where you are putting down your money on a property, you are now the landlord, you are renting it out, and you are collecting those rent checks every month that keep you paid and build your generational wealth going forward. So today, what are we talking about, big fella? What are we talking about?
We're gonna be talking about some pre-construction.
Okay, that's one of the 3 types of investment properties. How do pre-construction properties work?
So pre-construction is good. I think it works very well whether you're an experienced person or you're new to this, right? It can serve to both. For the more experienced investor, maybe you have a portfolio of properties, maybe you're fixing and flipping, but it doesn't all that active money, because that's active capital. At the end of the day, if you stop renovating properties, you're not gonna make money. So you also need some passive money. So sometimes if you transition some of your money into a couple of pre-construction properties, you have some passive income at the same time. So now once that property is built, it's gone up in value, etc., you can make some money there.
For those of you who are maybe unaware of that, I don't want that term to fly over your head. Passive income is basically money you're making in your sleep. You're not actively working towards it. It's just it's in the background, but it's still churning, it's still making that money for you, still generating an income for you.
So now when it comes to someone that's maybe a little newer to this, it's really good because maybe you don't have all the money right now. So it allows you to take your time and to put all that money together, but you can get into the market today at today's prices. So the market is always appreciating over time. So if you, let's say you're saving up your money and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna wait until I have this money, and in 2 years now you have 50 grand. Well, guess what? Now you probably need 60. 50
grand can't buy you what 50 grand could buy you 2 years ago. Inflation is a real thing.
Exactly.
A junior chicken today. Listen, a junior chicken today costs a lot more than what a junior chicken costed 3 years ago.
That's a fact, bro.
And people don't realize it.
Yo, you remember the days when you used to be able to go to school at $5? $5 was lunch for the week.
You could eat good. You eat it like a king. Now if you go $5, you get a bag of chips and a juice box.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. So that's where I think pre-construction's biggest advantage is, because you have that money today, you have it now, you want to make a move with it now instead of trying to say, you know what, let me save up a little bit more and put it towards something next year. Next year, that amount of money is probably not going to be able to get you as much as what it can get you right now.
Exactly.
So I'm glad you alluded to that as well.
Yeah. You're always going to be chasing your tail like that. So pre-construction allows you to put money down over time. Now a lot of people ask me, oh, how much money? I can't tell you because it's different. Every builder is different. Some builders want 5% and that's it. Some builders want 20%, obviously broken up into smaller payments. Some builders, they say you can put $5,000 down and then just bring $1,000 a month until you reach whatever threshold that they're asking for. So it's different. So I recommend go out there, look at different builders. To be honest with you, you don't need a real estate agent to buy pre-construction.
I'm glad that you alluded to the different types of pay structures that every builder has. So every builder is going to be different. I don't mind being transparent on my channel. I remember for mine, it was a total of $25,000 down, but it was $5,000 on the day of signing, $10,000 30 days later after that day of signing, and then another $10,000 90 days after that initial signing date.
Not bad.
It was good, but it helped me even more because I had the $25,000 up front. But getting the opportunity to space that money out gave me a lot more flexibility. I'm someone where like I am an aggressive saver. So getting that $25,000, I'm not gonna lie, it hurt to part with it. Especially for something that I can't see right now today. So to pay 5 and then 10 and then another 10, it made it a little bit easier, and it also, more importantly, made my spending a lot more flexible going forward, because I wasn't strapped for cash at any point in time because I had all that money up front, but I got to kind of give it over in spurts. That's why it's like you're saying, it's good to do your research. Different builders have different strategies and different requirements. pick whichever one fits you best now 100%. And going forward. You know what I mean?
And don't be shy to negotiate, right? Yeah. I've negotiated with builders. What do you want? No, I can't do that.
It's true. It's true.
I can't do that
because
this is what I can do. And then you propose it to them. And to be honest, if it's not like there's certain builders like Daniel Home, for example, they got lineups out the door.
Yeah, they're not
you can forget about it. Yeah. But if you get a builder and they have units, they're trying to sell their units. So at the end of the day, they're gonna get their money. So you know, what's an extra 30 days? Or you know, like, so don't be afraid to try and negotiate.
And the thing is that they'll, like you said, they're gonna get their money. And the thing is too, they know they're gonna get their money because is that something that you want to play with? Is that something where you want to risk like, you know what, I don't have it right now. I can't honor the terms that we've agreed to, because at the end of the day, this is your house. At the end of the day, you don't want to lose that out. You don't want to lose out on that. So if it means, like you said, that they have to kind of provide a little bit more wiggle room for you for another 30 days or whatever the case may be, they're definitely a lot more adhering to that. Because I remember even for mine, I want people to understand, just like we mentioned in the last video, appreciation is a real thing. So if you pay today's price, the things surrounding that property and that area is still happening over that course of time while you're waiting for your house to be built. So when you move into your house a year or two from now, when the house is actually done, all those factors around your house have affected your new value of your house. Meaning you may have paid for a $300,000 house, but the things that have happened in that time span, now that you've moved in, may have increased your house to a $400,000, $500,000 house, because that appreciation is still taking place. So that's now where you're in a position where you have so many opportunities, because you can decide, okay, you know what? Now if I want to do a buy and hold situation, I can charge rent as if it's a $5,000 house, because even though I bought it at this price, my tenants that are looking for it, or your potential tenants, are looking at it as a $500,000 house. If you want to flip it now, you make that $200,000 gain on that time span. So pre-construction is in my opinion, I mean, it's the only one I've done so far. I only had one house, but I'm glad I took that route because I got to see the different avenues that are possible due to it.
And you know what, you mentioned something that I wanted to elaborate on, is just, and this is why I think realtors are kind of underrated when it comes to pre-construction, because number one, you don't pay the realtor. As a buyer, whether it's pre-construction, resale, whatever, the buyer never pays the realtor. The seller pays the realtor. So in the case of pre-construction, the builder pays the realtor, not you as the buyer, right? So that's the first thing. So if you get an agent, you don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, I gotta pay this guy.
I was worried about that my first time.
It's not coming out of your pocket. But the reason why I say realtors can sometimes be a little underrated when it comes to pre-construction is knowing the neighborhood, knowing the area, knowing what's going on, right? Because it's one thing to buy something pre-construction, but you're largely relying on the development of that area. So if other things aren't happening, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for your property to go up in value. So, and that's why I think certain neighborhoods kind of max out, like what's going on in the neighborhood, what's going on in the city, like what, and you can get all this stuff online. Right? You can figure out what the city's plans are. You know, are they planning on changing this road to high density? Are they encouraging, you know, builders to come in, you know, build this or build that, or do they want more commercial, right? So you can figure out all this stuff if you just do your research. And if you don't have the time, which is fair because a lot of people don't. I do real estate full time. I dedicate my time to this. Not everyone has the time to do this. In that case, get yourself an agent. Find someone who knows the area, who knows what's going on, because that will save you a lot of time. And it'll also make you a lot of money if you buy well. So
that's why you guys gotta make sure you contact Jay McKay. So when it comes to pre-construction now, when you're doing your research, what are the things you're looking at before you embark on a pre-construction investment?
Okay, so number one, like we just talked about, is the location. When it comes to pre-construction, I want to know, is the location good? And what are the plans? What's to come? That's the first thing that I'm looking at, because I'm playing the long game in pre-construction, right? From there, then I'm figuring out, okay, what am I gonna do with this unit once it's built? Am I gonna just wait for it and then sell it right away? Am I gonna turn it into a rental property, right? So then I figure all that stuff out. So again, and this is similar to the buy and hold, I strategize before going into the deal. So I know exactly what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna do it, and what I'll do if things don't go as planned.
A backup plan.
The backup plan, my exit strategy.
Okay.
Right? So once I've figured all that out, now I start shopping around. The first thing I'm looking at when I'm shopping around is layouts, right? Because you have to think about it like this. If it's a condo, for example, hundreds of condos in that building, and let's say I'm gonna make it a rental property. I'm gonna rent it out to someone and they're gonna pay me rent every single month. What's gonna make my unit stand out versus your unit, or this guy's unit, or that girl's unit, right? So I'm looking for favorable layouts. Maybe it's more functional, maybe, you know, it's just a nicer layout, right? I'm just looking for little things to give me a bit of an edge, right? That's why when I bought my first pre-construction property, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a penthouse unit, because it's a penthouse, and everyone loves the penthouse, and it's cool, and whatever, you know? So once I did that, I was able to offer it as an executive suite. So, you know, like I look for like good layouts, something that's just gonna give me a bit of an edge. I
agree, because I mean, for my house that I made sure that I got the end unit because it was townhouses. I made sure I want the end unit because those middle ones, they're all pretty standard, but the end units differ in space, rooms, and
bigger lots, a little more lawn space. Typically, you're gonna get a little bit more square footage. Premium lot. People will typically pay a little bit more for corner lots
because you only have one neighbor versus having two.
So it's almost like you're buying a semi instead of a townhouse. Actually, just real quick, just in regards to things changing, because when I bought my condo, my very first condo, my plan going into it was I was gonna buy it and I was gonna flip it right away. Right? What happened? Mississauga condo market, it wasn't appreciating the way I thought it would. I ended up having to change my plan. So that was never supposed to be a rental property. That was supposed to be a property I buy and I flip. Once it was getting closer to the time for me to close, I realized that it's only appreciated just a little bit. And by the time I pay my agent, there was no money left for me. So I ended up having to change my strategy and I had to rent it out. But I wasn't interested in breaking even at $1,500 because my mortgage and my maintenance fees and taxes took me to about $1,500 a month. So I went and I furnished it and I offered it as an executive suite like I was talking about. So again, you gotta be quick on your feet. You have to know, you gotta be resourceful. But I was only in that position because I was hasty and I didn't do all the research going into it. So it's better you do your research, but you're better off just getting in as opposed to waiting on the sideline for sure.
So you gotta get in the game and make moves. So with that being said, Jay McKay is the guy. Make sure you take a look at his stuff. Make sure you contact him. Make sure you shoot him any questions. Ask me as well. I don't think it's gonna be any problem to get you back on this couch talking more real estate.
Not at all.
So with that being said, hit him up. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. Make sure you comment. Make sure you share this video to anyone that's interested or someone that you know can be knowledgeable and take away something from these videos. And stay tuned. And we'll be back talking more things money. Peace.
Yes, sir.